Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
Send in the clowns.
Hey guys, welcome to the three-way podcast Hump Day Show. I'm Jerks. That's a Public Enemy 5'9". That's it.
What's up? What's up?
Peace sign with the white beater on.
It's not a white beater.
Anyways, we're back here talking about Joker, the newest, hottest movie everybody's hating on and or loves. Very polarizing. We actually recorded this already, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, let's get right into what we hated. Usually we like to start off with the negatives and end the show with the positives because that's how life works sometimes. Anyways, so Los, what do you have as far as like what you did not like about the Joker?
I did not like the lame couple that I sat next to. No. There are very few things I liked about this movie. Man, this movie, and you're right, causing a lot of people. I hear very different views. I hear people that just did not like the way the story moved, did not like the beats. I don't get what they're talking about, but hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Right.
What I didn't like, the beginning was slow.
Right.
We talked about this before where we feel that, it's an origin story, so you do kind of like have to build it up. But I do feel the beginning was a little slow. I was a little like, okay, this is a bit weird. But, in the end, it pays off, I think.
Right.
The amount of time they spend on developing the character, developing his relationships, developing the world around him, kind of pays off in the end. So when I was watching the movie, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, the beginning is kind of slow, but once I finished the movie, I understood why. And I was like, okay, it makes sense. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was before.
Yeah, that was my thing too. The movie was pretty slow in the beginning, and like the more I think about it, the more I understood why. From the beginning I knew why it was kind of like a slow burn in the beginning. But I just I it's hard to be like, I completely hate this thing. Like we said before earlier too, is like it's really hard to find something we didn't like about this movie. Yeah. And just that slow pace in the beginning was one of those issues. Very minor though, because it literally it builds up to the moment where, okay, he's fighting the Joker, and you understand why he is the way he is. I think what was one of the other reasons I had that I didn't like? Well, one of the negatives I had for this movie, I think it was. Oh man, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I know one of my things was. I kind of felt like some of the beats, especially towards the end, when we start dealing with Thomas Wayne, and you find out, kid Bruce Wayne is in this.
Oh, did we mention we're gonna have spoilers? Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, why are you watching this? Go watch it. But no, once we start seeing Thomas Wayne and Bruce Wayne, and I'm like, oh shit, are they gonna like link it to this? And you could kind of see that coming. At least I did. Because at the in the end, they show Thomas and the wife and them getting killed, like origins always says. So that I could kind of see coming. That's another thing, I guess. I would have liked their own take on Thomas's, like Bruce Wayne's parents' death. I would have liked a different take than just some random thug who does the same thing and rips the pearl necklace. Like, come on.
Yeah,
anything different. That's another thing where I'm kind of like, okay.
I like when I went to go see this movie. I went. The other thing is like, it's not recommended to bring little kids to watch this, even though it's like a DC movie. I had some
Do
teenagers.
not take your kids
Yeah, I had some teenagers next to me watching the movie, and like whenever it was a scene like something like old school memorable Batman moment, like for instance that scene where his parents died, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know this part of what's gonna happen," and like, throughout the most of the movie though, they were pretty quiet, and they're just like, I would assume they were like, "This is not what I had assumed it was gonna be, being a DC movie and all that good stuff," but. As far as the DC universe is concerned in these movies, I think this is absolutely their best one so far.
Oh, by far.
By far.
I mean, yeah. Like it. Okay, so can we go to the
Yeah.
All right, because there's a bunch of good things. So let's start off with the most obvious. Joaquin Phoenix is amazing in this movie.
Yeah, he did an amazing job.
His portrayal of his Joker is like badass, I think.
Yeah.
He does his own take on it. He does his own flavor on it. Obviously, yeah, he may have taken inspirations from others, but he makes this Joker his own. This is not another Joker that he just stole from someone else. No, this is his own, and I got to give big props to that. He is at times funny, at times you empathize because you feel bad for him. At other times, you think, man, this man is a fucking nut job. Like, he does the whole spectrum of acting in this one movie.
Right.
And I've been hearing a lot of calls for it lately, and I'm gonna just say it too. The guy deserves to win an Oscar for this performance.
Yeah, if that movie doesn't get nominated, that's a crime. Like,
exactly,
what the hell?
Exactly. And he needs to Joker all those motherfuckers.
Okay. No.
Hey, ask for it, man. No. But he deserves at the least to be nominated, because up to this year, I don't know anything else in this year that comes close to what he's done.
Right.
So that's one thing. Second is the way the story's told. The director, what's his name?
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips. Okay, wrote the script, directed. I think it's masterfully done.
I agree.
I think the character development, like I said, the comedy and the drama, the violence, the gore, nothing feels out of place, right? Nothing feels like, oh, okay, that shouldn't belong in this movie. For the most part, everything to me was spot on.
Yeah.
The flow of the movie. I mean, the supporting cast was solid too. If anything, that's the weakest part. I think that out of all my positives, that's the weakest, the supporting cast. But they were solid, so that just shows how good this movie is. I mean, you got Robert De Niro in there. You got so I don't know, man. I could go on and on and on. But
this movie was amazing, and like for me, I love the build up. It was how you see the society around him failed him, how his mother failed him, how all this is just contribution to him becoming the Joker. But one of the other things too, like this movie, like especially the ending, because at the ending you see how what was I gonna say? You see how like a lot of the things that happened in this movie, like especially the ones concerning the supposedly girl he was dating, how they were just figments of his imagination, and how at the very end, like you see him like running or inside Arkham Asylum, he's talking to a lady that similarly looks like the social worker he's been talking to up until the point where supposedly their funding got cut. And you see like a lot of this, and like now, like literally the more I think about the ending, the more I'm like, did it really happen? Is that something still in his head? Was he like at the entire time in Arkham Asylum when all this shit went down? And also the moment where Bruce Wayne's parents died, obviously it's not Joker who did it, but that also makes me feel like the Joker that we see in this film it's not the Joker that is fighting against Batman later on. What I feel is it's the inspiration for that Joker that comes along later. Because, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker seems like he's a little bit too old And then like in this movie, we see Bruce Wayne, but he's like a little fucking kid. So once that kid grows up, is Joker still around? Like he already looks like he's like close to his 50s.
I'm liking these series. I mean, the whole theory that he was in the asylum the whole time.
If that's the case, that shit would piss me off. To be honest, I wouldn't be happy with that.
I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think that's the full case, but I feel like that could probably be one of the things.
No, and then the fact that there could be another Joker in the. I mean, I don't know.
If anything, that would probably make the continuum of Robert Pattinson's Batman portrayal make more sense.
I think it would be a huge mistake not to somehow involve Joaquin's Joker to Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Right.
I mean, you're losing out on money, man, because people want to see that. People want to see Joaquin again. He just announced today that he would be interested in a second movie. So
that's what I'm saying, though. Like this movie right now is a standalone movie. It's not connected with the rest of the DCU.
Correct. It's not.
This is a movie that it took them forever to get off the ground because Warner Brothers were concerned about basically the sales of the Joker merchandise, because I mean they even said to Todd Phillips, like, hey, we sell like pajamas to kids, and this film that you made, it's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it is. And no, but it's about time we start. I mean, I'm glad DC's treating their villains like damn villains, bro. I mean, these are not good people. These are not in the end, like when you read the stories, these are not people that you want to look up to.
Right.
And so they're maniacs, they're serial killers, man. And I want to move on to like some of the scenes, our favorite scenes, because some of my favorite scenes from this movie are the really gory ones. Not really just because I get to see blood and brains, but it's impactful. It's in this movie, he's not just whacking off people like willy-nilly. It's for no reason. There's a lot of backstory behind each kill, and it adds more gravitas, I think, to each of those moments. When he kills the television host, right?
Yeah.
Murray. When he kills Murray, it's a whole kind of like a monologue he's having, and a back and forth with Murray.
But that's what I'm saying too. He had a moment where he imagined being on that show. And in the build up to him going onto that show, he was always like in the end, like shooting himself in the head.
Yeah. Like,
but when he actually gets on the show, all of a sudden he has all this charisma. He's super likable. And then all of a sudden he kills him. I'm like that could also be part of the dream. Like that could be part in his head. Because he also had this moment where he supposedly had a girlfriend, but he never did. He ends up in her apartment. And she's like, "Wait, what the hell are you doing here?" And this is like after the fact that we see a bunch of scenes of them together, kissing, hanging out, and like it turns out it was all just in his head.
I mean, either way, I think the scene was badass, right? And I think it's a culmination of him becoming the Joker. Before that, in his apartment, he kills that fake friend of his who ratted him out, and oh man, that scene was hilarious. It was gory, it was messed up, but it's funny at the same time because they got the little person in there. Man, just some great scenes. The where he's dancing down the stairs, the subway scene where he man,
well, he did a lot of interpretive dancing too, and a lot of the music was given to them while they were still shooting the movie. So there was moments where he was like doing the dancing off the cuff, like when they were just getting the music. But yeah, I mean, this overall, literally every scene we can like go into, but overall, what's your rating for this movie out of 10?
Come on. Let's not kid ourselves. This is a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Easy. The easiest 10 out of 10 I've ever given.
Yeah.
Probably, and because I have no qualms really with the movie. And automatically in my top 5 of movies. Like, the moment I walked out of the theater, I knew this is in my top 5. It's up there with Saving Private Ryan. It's up there with The Wedding Singer. It's up there, man.
Spice World. Nah, well, for me, for sure, it's gonna be a 10 out of 10. It's 100% recommended to go watch this. Don't go watch it with little kids. It is a slow burn. It's not too long of a movie. It's about 2 hours. Fucking It 2, Chapter 2 was like 3 hours, so you'll be good. This movie, though, very good. Very, very realistic in terms of how the whole thing's set up. Very telling of today's society. Very telling of how just doing a little bit of good can really go a long way, to be honest. At least that's what I got in my perspective. No, man, and that's, to me, makes the movie even better. The messages that the movie has. It's not just a, Joker killing people for man. There's a lot of build up, and it really has a lot of messages, man. That as a society we can do better. Mental illnesses are real. It's just a culmination. It's a lot of messages, I feel, and not only are you getting that from watching, but you're being entertained because Joaquin was amazing. All right, then. Well, thank you guys for watching. That's been our Hump Day Show Joker spoiler cast, I guess. But anyways, thank you guys for listening. We've been we're on Spotify podcasting for our main podcast that comes out on Monday mornings on YouTube at 6 a.m. But you can also catch the audio versions on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, of course, which lets us distribute it to every podcast platform around the universe. What do we have going on next Wednesday for Hump Day Show? I don't even know yet. All right, that we'll figure that one out too. But anyways, thank you guys, and see you. Peace. Bye.